Anti-Semitic graffiti discovered at the Oklahoma Democratic Party headquarters, gunshots at an Oklahoma university, and a zookeeper stands trial for a murder-for-hire plot. This is OU Nightly.
Hello and welcome to OU Nightly, live from Gaylord Hall at the University of Oklahoma. I'm Parker Thune.
And I'm Brooke Murski. We begin with vandalism at the headquarters of the Oklahoma Democratic Party.
Racial slurs, hateful messages, and even swastikas. It's now being investigated as a hate crime. OU Nightly's Beth Guevara was there as the cleanup process commenced.
The building on Classen Boulevard is quiet now. An onlooker wouldn't think much of the cleaning equipment, the laughs, the hugs. From a distance, they could probably notice this sign. It would take a closer look to find out why.
Woke up this morning to the news that the Oklahoma Democratic Party here in Oklahoma City has been vandalized with racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, anti-woman graffiti. There are transphobic messages here today. Essentially what's happened is some group of people has tried to send the message that Oklahoma is for white men and no one else, and they've done so in an incredibly traumatic and violent way.
Here you can see the ground is wet from cleanup already beginning. Volunteers are expected to arrive this afternoon. This ground once said, "Save only white young Aryan girls."
People like the Reverend T. Sherry Dickerson, who identifies as gender fluid, queer, and black, are fighting for more acceptance and unity.
And to have friends who are part of the Jewish community, part of the LGBTQIA community, it's disheartening. I want them to know that we're going to continue to stand together in unity.
Some Republicans came to the building to express their support for their colleagues. Governor Stitt tweeted that the language used was abhorrent.
While we really appreciate what the governor has said, that this does not represent Oklahoma, the sad fact is that it too often does represent Oklahoma.
The paint is nearly completely washed away, but the threat and the hate remain. Beth Guevara, OU Nightly.
And the Chickasaw Nation building was also tagged with similar graffiti, according to an ODP representative. And State House Minority Leader Emily Virgin was among many who spoke out today against the vandalism. In her statement, Virgin decried the incident as horrific and too common across the country. She went on to say that these symbols are hurtful and reminiscent of a dangerous and scary time in our world's history.
2 people were shot early this morning on the Langston University campus. According to a statement released by the university, the shooting involved 1 student and 1 non-student. The suspects fled the scene at the Langston Commons apartments, and no arrests have been made yet.
Conflict is brewing between President Donald Trump and the governor of Puerto Rico. Kelsey Hovanetz is in the OU Nightly News Center with the details. Kelsey?
Thanks, Parker. Tensions are high between President Trump and Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rosselló over disaster relief efforts almost 2 years after Hurricane Maria. Rosselló had some choice words for Trump in an interview with CNN earlier today.
If the bully gets close, I'll punch the bully in the mouth.
This week's battle erupted after Trump told Republican senators he questioned the wisdom of directing more storm relief aid to Puerto Rico. And Special Counsel Robert Mueller's confidential report on the Russia investigation is over 300 pages, according to the Justice Department. Attorney General Bill Barr's 4-page summary of the still-secret report was released Sunday to both Congress and the general public. But Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is still not satisfied.
No, thank you, Mr. Attorney General. We do not need your interpretation. Show us the report.
A team at the Justice Department is working on determining what parts of the full report can be released to the public. An Icelandic airline, WOW Air, ceased operations and canceled all its flights, leaving passengers stranded on both sides of the Atlantic. More than 1,000 people were affected by the grounding of the aircrafts. WOW Air's CEO says negotiations to save the airline went on until the early morning, and the airline said that it may pay compensation to affected passengers in accordance with European regulation on air passenger rights. If they declare bankruptcy, passengers can make a claim with the administrator or liquidator. WOW Air was the latest in a string of European airline shutdowns. And Brooke, Parliament will vote on the Prime Minister's Brexit deal for a third and possibly final time tomorrow.
Thank you, Kelsey. We now bring you the latest update on the story of a zookeeper standing trial in Oklahoma City. Joseph Maldonado Passage, better known as Joe Exotic, allegedly plotted to kill Carol Baskin, the founder of an animal sanctuary in Florida. Alan Glover, a worker at the zoo, testified that Maldonado Passage offered him $5,000 with instructions to murder Baskin. Glover said he took the cash but did not intend to go through with the plan.
And Brooke, on a more positive note, it has been an absolutely gorgeous day across central Oklahoma.
Oh, Parker, you're right. And with more on the local weather, we now turn to Joe DeCarlo. Joe?
Yeah, you guys are right. It's a beautiful spring day throughout most of Oklahoma. Right now, we're sitting at 71 degrees in Norman, 73 in Oklahoma City. Now, it's warmer out west, even in 82 currently right now in Woodward. Now, with those warm temperatures come that Oklahoma wind right now. These are sustained wind speeds. Out of the south at 15 miles an hour in Norman, 22 out in Elk City. Coming up on weather, we will talk about severe weather chances returning for tomorrow. Frost and freeze possible this weekend, and also a warming trend ahead for next week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joe. The FDA is looking into different way to screen for breast cancer. Mammograms are a great way to get checked, but it's been a while since any revisions have been made.
Plus, this Saturday night, the University of Oklahoma offers an opportunity to dance like nobody's watching. Stay with us on OU Nightly. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Throughout the week, we've been following a high-profile opioid lawsuit involving the state of Oklahoma.
Baylee Bates joins us with the most recent update. Baylee.
Parker and Brooke, earlier this week, Purdue Pharma agreed to pay $270 million to settle a lawsuit brought by the Oklahoma Attorney General. But now, New York is suing the billionaire family behind Purdue Pharma. New York already has an open lawsuit against the drug maker, but the lawsuit filed today adds Purdue's owners, the Sackler family, accusing them of fraud and transfers of opioid profits.
They continue to move funds into trust and, yes, offshore accounts to be out of the reach of any potential recovery or out of the reach of the long arm of government and law enforcement.
A spokesperson for the family says their company only accounts for around 4% of opioid prescriptions in the U.S. And the FDA has proposed changes to breast cancer screening to help patients and care providers make more informed decisions after receiving results. The proposal includes providers being required to explain how dense breast tissue affects the accuracy of mammograms. Dense tissue can obscure the signs of breast cancer and lower the sensitivity of the image, leaving patients uninformed. 3 additional categories to classify mammogram results have also been proposed. This is the first time in 20 years that the FDA has proposed amendments to mammogram regulations. And Parker, the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Heart Association are wanting to tame kids' sugary drink obsession by calling for a soda tax. That's it for today's Health Beat. Back to you.
Thank you, Baylee. And if you are looking for something to do Saturday evening, the Black Student Association is hosting the 37th annual Stomp Down right here in Norman. Members of OU-BSA were on the South Oval selling tickets to OU students for $12 today. Stomp Down is an opportunity for current and former members of sororities and fraternities to showcase their talents.
So Stomp Down is a culturally rich, basically it's a step show, and it's our Midwest region's largest step show, so the largest step show we have here in the Midwest region. All schools from the Big 12 and even different schools just like from the South and the East Coast come out. They registered to participate in the year's event.
Tickets will be $15 at the door, and all proceeds will go to OU-BSA for next year's Stomp Down events. The event is this Saturday from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Madison Square Event Center in Norman.
The University of Oklahoma students are gathering for the first ever Brazilian Film Festival. OU's Lusophone Club, which is composed of Portuguese-speaking students, organized the 8-day event of Brazilian films and discussion. Today is day 4 of the festival, and Lusophone Club co-president Eduardo Campbell said the goal of the festival is to see Brazil through a different lens.
It's always great, right, to be able to learn another language and also be able to learn about other countries and also to learn about local community. It's a well-rounded sort of festival that it tries to engage as many people as possible with so many different films that people might be interested in watching.
The list of films that will be shown can be found on the OU Brazilian Film Festival Facebook page.
And not far from where we sit right now, it was a busy morning on the South Oval as an army of OU facilities workers prepared and planted the well-known flower beds. With a small fleet of orange carts parked on the Oval, work began early today to plant this year's spring flowers, and you can see there were truckloads of bedding plants for the landscapers to unpack and get into the ground. Now everyone has to hope a possible weekend freeze won't kill off the new little plants. And if you're a fan of distance running or just want to contribute to a good cause, there's an event taking place this weekend on OU's campus that you'll want to attend.
And Parker, didn't you say something about a potential freeze? We'd better check back in with Joe DeCarlo.
Yeah, guys, a freeze possible this weekend and also some rain chances coming up on Friday. Weather coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We talked about the flower beds planted on campus today, and here's a live shot right now from campus. You can see the flowers. It is a beautiful spring day throughout Oklahoma. Looking right now at downtown Oklahoma City, we are currently sitting at 73 degrees with south-southwest winds at 23 miles an hour and also our dew point at 57. Now, looking at current temperatures throughout the state, it is 71 in Norman, 74 up in Enid, and it's 82 right now in Woodward. But our attention turns to tomorrow when we do have a chance for some severe weather. We are in the slight risk area for severe weather from Oklahoma City down to the south into Norman and then also in eastern Oklahoma. Now the main threat from these storms will be damaging winds, a large hail, and any threat of storms will be in the afternoon and evening hours for your day tomorrow. Now right now, there is question if there will be enough instability to form the storms along this line, but if they do form in the afternoon, their best chance will be from the Oklahoma City metro, southward again here into Norman, and also in eastern Oklahoma. Now these storms will form right around the OKC metro and Norman and then move eastward throughout the evening. Now temperature-wise, we will be mild again tomorrow, warming up to the mid to upper 60s, 68 here in Norman before a strong cold front pushes through tomorrow evening. Now this will keep us cool for Saturday, only in the lower 50s, and then Saturday night into Sunday, cold air from the north will drop us to the middle 30s, 35 here in Norman. Now if you do have any plans, bring them in for Sunday morning in case we do have that freeze, which is possible in northern Oklahoma. Now we stay cool again for Sunday before our warming trend into next week. Now lows tonight will be mild, 59 here in Norman, 59 in Oklahoma City. Cooler off to the north in the 40s out in the Panhandle. Now tomorrow we will warm up ahead of the cold front, 70 in Ardmore, 68 here in Norman, and then cooler behind the front, 50s in northwestern Oklahoma. Now looking at that two-day forecast, we stay mild tomorrow with those severe chances in the afternoon and then much cooler for Saturday and also strong northerly winds for Saturday as well, before we stay cool through Monday and then warm back into the 60s and then 70s again once we come up in the middle of next week.
Well, Joe, obviously I'm a little disappointed that it's not warming up. At least
it's up and down.
It is, but I didn't hear you throw the word tornado out there, so we're doing good in that regard.
We should be okay, yes, but definitely keep your eye out for tomorrow evening just in case we have those storms.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Well, the Sooner Strong 5K will be held here on OU's campus this Saturday. OU Nightly's Abby Foster has the details on this growing event.
This Saturday, the OU Armory will be hosting its 4th annual 5K right here on campus. But this community event benefits more than just the cadet program.
The Sooner Strong 5K was created in order to help the cadet funds at the University of Oklahoma, and every year we choose 2 benefiters that benefit from the 5K, and we donate a portion of our profits to them.
The course will start here outside the Armory at 9:30. Pets and strollers are welcome, but they ask you stay in the back for safety.
It's not a traditional 5K course. It's one that the university had to come up and approve, but it stays completely on the north side of campus, north of Lindsay, and it takes all left and right turns, but it gives you a great view of campus and past all the buildings.
To register for the 5K, go to Soonerstrong.com, click Sooner Strong 5K, and scroll down to the registration link. The registration fee for students with an OU ID is $20 and $25 for faculty and staff. Abby Foster, OU Nightly.
Participants can pick up their registration packets tomorrow, March 29th from noon to 6:30 p.m. or 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on race day.
And Brooke, by my count, it's only 156 days till Sooner football returns.
See, it concerns me just a little bit that you know that, but regardless, Kara Karbs and our sports team have a look at the revamped Sooner defense. Kara?
Yeah, guys, Cal Day will join us with a Sooner football update, and the NBA playoffs are approaching for the OKC Thunder. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome back to OU Nightly Sports. I'm Kara Karbs. The NBA season is winding down and the Thunder is fighting for a better position in the playoffs. Yesterday, the Thunder went up against the Pacers. The game was frustrating for Thunder fans when they fell behind 48-58. However, in true Thunder fashion, the team bounced back and won 107-99. And with the win, the Thunder moved back up to the 7th spot in the West. And as the season comes to a close, 4 teams have something left to fight for. OKC only has 7 games left, and the battle for playoff positioning will surely go down to the wire. The Sooners are now a couple weeks into spring practice. Yesterday we heard from the quarterbacks, and today Cal Day joins us with an update on the defense.
Hey, Kara, while many eyes are certainly on the QB battle this spring, attention is also focused on the defense with new coordinator Alex Grinch taking over. With a new sense of energy and urgency, the Sooners are buying in on that side of the ball.
He set a standard for our defense, and he set a standard for us individually as DBs. And then, we build in like a concept of like team loafs, which is like not running to the ball, and then individual loafs, which is like technique loafs, alignment loafs, stuff like that.
Kids are one that makes it go, and they've attacked it. And they, like I said before, they're willing and they're thirsty for to be successful.
The fields, other young guys like linebackers Levi Draper and Deshaun White are also speaking positively of the new coaching staff. And Kara, breaking news as the Patriots will also be under new leadership on the defensive side of the ball. Greg Schiano announced he is stepping down as coordinator less than 2 months on the job. Back to you.
Thanks, Cal. Sooner softball is dominating the field right now. After their win against Tulsa last night, they extended their win streak to 20. This is the 7th time in program history the Sooners have had a 20-game win streak. The Sooners also hit 4 home runs for the 3rd consecutive game. This game marked their 15th run rule win of the 2019 season. An OU men's golf team is heading west for the Goodwin tournament. The 3-day tournament will host 13 top 50 teams with OU sitting at number 4. The Sooners won the tournament last year and are hoping to defend their title. And America's favorite pastime is here at last. Today's opening day for the MLB. The season got started with a bang. Robinson Cano hit a home run for the first at-bat of the season. All 30 teams will be in action today, which is the 2nd straight year all teams will be playing on opening day. And keep an eye on your brackets. March Madness continues tonight with some big games. The Virginia Cavaliers, who knocked the Sooners out of the tournament, are going up against the lowest remaining seed, the Oregon Ducks. And the Big 12 is represented by Texas Tech, facing off against Michigan. Gonzaga is also on the court against Florida State. And finally, Tennessee and Purdue are fighting for their spot in the Elite Eight. And if you keep up with March Madness, then you definitely know about this famous shot. 27 years ago today, Duke's Christian Laettner beat Kentucky with college basketball's most famous buzzer beater. And as you can see, Duke celebrating their ticket into the Final Four. And 27 years later, everyone still hates Christian Laettner.
Maybe so, Kara, but dang, that was a really good 30 for 30.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much. When we return on OU Nightly, meteorologist Joe DeCarlo joins us one final time.
Plus, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. See what's next in our weekly Obscure Holiday Series.
Welcome back. I'm Libbey Dean at the OU Nightly Update Desk with the latest on a proposal to eliminate funding for the Special Olympics. President Donald Trump told reporters today that he is backing off his initial budget request. The cuts were proposed to help reduce the Department of Education budget by $7 billion. Trump's statement comes after days of criticism regarding the cuts to the Special Olympics. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Libbey. Brooke, it's National Weed Appreciation Day, and I know what you're thinking. It was my first thought, too, but you're wrong. We're talking actual weeds, like the ones in between the sidewalk cracks.
See, I mean, I guess it's convenient for springtime, but why exactly are we appreciating weeds?
I mean, I don't have a clue. It just goes to show you there literally is a holiday for everything.
Well, good timing with the spring, you know, and I hear Joe DeCarlo has a special weather fact for us.
Oh, I love these weather facts.
Yeah, so we were talking about severe weather for today, tomorrow, and our weather fact of the day was on March 28th, 1988, OKC experienced grapefruit-sized hail. Now, that's hail between 4 and 6 inches in diameter, and that resulted in $35 million in damages. So nothing like that tomorrow, but I mean, I can't even imagine.
Grapefruit-sized hail, Joe. I mean, that's just flat out scary. Like,
See,
you
yeah.
can't walk outside.
Yeah.
It's a lot of damage, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that did. If my car was sitting outside, it'd be gone.
Thanks so much, Joe. And thank you for tuning in to OU Nightly. We're live every weekday from Gaylord Hall on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.